We're joined now by Peter Mathews, Professor of Political Science at Cyprus College and Adjunct Professor of Sociology at Long Beach City College. He's also the author of Dollar Democracy, with Liberty and Justice for Some, How to Reclaim the American Dream for All. That's what Mr. Trump says he wants to do. Do you think Mr. Trump's gamble of avoiding the main debate will pay off?
I think it's going to really hurt him a bit. But I'll tell you what, though, he seems to be a Teflon-type candidate. It's only happened in recent history once, when Ronald Reagan did not show up at the Iowa caucus debate, and he lost the caucus to George H.W. Bush. So this was not a great move. I think that Donald Trump insulted a lot of people by not showing up when he's seeking the presidency of all things, and people want to hear what his ideas are. Of course, he didn't want to answer any questions to Megyn Kelly regarding his attitude toward women, which he brought up before. But I think there was a double-edged sword that he played.
He does seem to be making a career of insulting people, and yet his ratings in the opinion polls are still extremely high. He seems almost impervious.
They are. The latest poll that I've seen, he's 8 points ahead of Ted Cruz at about 35% to 27 or so, and it has to do with just a fraction of the Republican Party. Keep in mind, the Republican Party is only 20% of the American electorate now. That's how many Republicans are registered out of all the voters. And out of 20%, he has about, what, 35%. So you do the math on that, and you'll see it's a small number of American voters, but it's still the largest number of Republicans in such a large field. So that's what's going for Mr. Trump. And he won't win the general election. I'm pretty sure about that. But he may win the Republican nomination. That's possible.
Why do you think that?
He's got the momentum going. He's got the billions of dollars. There you go. There's my book, Dollar Democracy, again. And it's not so much that he's asking for other people's money, but he has his own money to outspend everyone else. He even, in fact, today he was criticizing Jeb Bush at Donald Trump's speech in front of those veterans groups where he's raising money for them. He's criticizing Jeb Bush for raising $128 million from other people. Well, Donald Trump not only raised some money from other people before, in fact, in this election, but he actually gave money to other people. He gave money to Hillary Clinton and to all of the other politicians on that stage. He's even been proud of saying, I have given money to all of you, and you folks did me favors in the past. So that's what dollar democracy is about. And this Republican primary is it's almost a farce. But look, let's hear the ideas. Let's see what happens. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are going to come up with in the next debate and in this Iowa caucus for them. Because if Bernie wins the caucuses, it's going to be one heck of a campaign and election season in November. Bernie against Donald, that would be something. And even Hillary against Donald will be something interesting.
Just explain for people who don't understand why the Iowa caucus is so important. I mean, Iowa doesn't seem like the most important state in the United States.
Yes, in Britain, as you know, you have the parliamentary system where the election takes place in one day across the nation, and the party with the majority wins when the majority in parliament selects the prime minister. Here, instead, it's state-by-state elections during the primary and caucus season. Iowa, being the first state in the whole lineup, gives it a lot of importance, because then it sets a momentum, and each state, as it goes through the caucus or primary, it accumulates more and more delegates for the candidates on each party. And the Democratic side is proportional representation, but the main thing is it'll set a trend. For example, if Bernie or Donald win on Monday in Iowa, the next one is going to be New Hampshire primary, which is very important as well. If one of the candidates wins 2 in a row, it's going to be a tremendous momentum, which will then get other states to look at these candidates more carefully and to reassess whether they should go ahead and donate money to their campaigns and get behind them. And therefore, it's a momentum-setting event. I'm talking about Iowa, New Hampshire, and then comes, don't forget, Nevada and South Carolina. 4 important primary and caucus states in the month of February can make a big difference if these candidates win 3 out of 4, let's say. That'll be very
interesting. Fascinating few months ahead. Professor Peter Mathews, thank you very much indeed for your contribution there.